Hello, everybody. We'll let some people come in if we got to have something show up. Hey, who knows? Some E squared. How are you, mom of two? Becca, how you doing? We're gonna talk a little bit. I guess everybody knows what happened in Texas today by now. Just awful tragedy. Seems to happen too much. How did this person get into dang school? I don't know. I know, and I'm definitely knock on wood or whatever, but you know, we live here in Eastern Kentucky, Southern Kentucky, Southeast Kentucky, and um, I know just to go get one of the kids from school, and these kids, like have been going there their entire school life. So the principals and teachers, and they're all familiar with their parents, and like it's difficult. It's not easy to just go sign a kid out of school anymore. It's not easy to get inside the doors to do so. Um, I, it just blows my mind. Um, blows my mind. It breaks my heart so bad. I wanted to go live a little earlier, but when I start talking and thinking about it, I get emotional. And I don't want to lose it. I just we were talking about elementary kids. I mean, kids or people, adults, it doesn't matter. They're all still human beings, but we're talking about kids that probably 13 years old or less. I think the last count I saw was 18 children and three adults. I don't. Yeah, our schools are locked. You have to buzz in and show ID. you have to be. You have to be on a yellow card um, to pick a kid up or see the kid. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We don't know the details yet, or I don't. Um, um, but how in the world? How in the world? And why? What would motivate somebody to do something like that? Hey, Rosemary, love and grace, E squared. Who knows, Becca? Love it. Let's see. I know I missed some people. Sorry, mom of two. Um, yeah, he killed his grandma first. Yep. And I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, obviously, he was triggered by something, right? Had to be. Um, Something's not working right inside his brain. Um, like, how does that even happen?
Are you busy?
I'm live. What do you need?
Well, I'm weak as water and I can't
Let me
open
try to
this
open
thing.
that. Hang on just a second, guys.
I need peanut butter open.
I know my shoulder don't work too good, so let's see. Is it gonna really?
I can't open it. My hands are too little. I couldn't get around it.
I was expecting it to be tough. Oh gosh.
Leave me alone.
Not sure, Becca. Not sure if he was if he graduated or already graduated or drop out, you never know. But and that's right around his, the graduation age for the most part, in most places. So, um, a lot of kids are held back now. So some of them graduate at 19, but it's I don't, let's. It is a sad, dark day. You're right. What has happened? What has happened to our youth, and what in the world would make an 18-year-old do something like that? And I don't know, you know, like he had to know that today was the last day he was going to live, right? Unless he was captured and put in prison, and then he's going to live the rest of his life in prison or on death row. How does that happen? How does that happen? Um, we have there's lots of there's lots of places to get help, to reach out to if you're feeling that way. If you're feeling like you may do something, you know, that you shouldn't do, or you've got desperate thoughts or feelings, there's places to reach out to. There's hotlines. There's people who will help, um, to try to prevent things like this. I don't I don't know. It's just hard to imagine what would, you know what kind of emptiness somebody would feel, even at 18 years old, especially at 18 years old, to walk in a building full of children, you know, elementary school children, and snuff them out like that. I mean, will we ever know what was going through his mind? Is there going to be some kind of um, social media posts that are found, or text or notes or anything like that? Maybe, but you're still never going to really know what was going on. Like, because he obviously didn't give anybody the chance to talk him out of it. Made up his mind and went on a killing spree. You know, if you're gonna if you're gonna just kill people and just be, you know, the executioner of human life, why choose children? This is not the first. It's the first in a while, or the worst in a while. But why? Why choose children? There's bad people. There are actual bad people out there. Not saying they deserve to be gunned down, but the children who, I coach elementary school kids. I work in an elementary school as a substitute teacher. That would be the worst nightmare I could imagine, is being in the school and hearing gunshots. Like, it would be terrible. You know, and screams of babies. Like, these kids are so innocent. they're just now starting to learn life. They're just now starting to, I don't know. It's just, it's so sad. It's heartbreaking. Becca said, I will never understand. I'm glad he's gone. There's nothing that could tell us what will ever make us understand. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't say, well, I'd been bullied all my life, and that's what I'm thinking. Probably is gonna come out. He was probably bullied, but come on, you didn't kill the bully. You didn't kill 14 kids at an elementary school. I woke up today never dreaming of this. My mind was on a phone impact statement I wrote for a close friend to parole board to keep a man who attacked her off the street. He was denied parole. I'm glad he was denied parole. But I start getting a couple messages about this, and because I hadn't heard nothing, hadn't seen anything. I had my phone set to do not disturb, and I flipped the switch back to turn do not disturb off, and all kinds of messages and alerts and what has happened in this world. In the United States, we overwhelmingly as a society want to be impact statement. We as a society in the United States, for the most part, most people, I would say, the majority anyway, um, are for the right to bear arms. I am. I do. You know, I have guns. Um, Statement on her behalf. Oh, okay. Okay. But the misuse of guns and the abuse of these weapons and ammunition when they're used to hunt down and kill innocent human beings, innocent children, there's going to be repercussions. That person, and I want to call them names, I want to talk bad about them. I just don't know them. I don't know what's going on inside their head. So, I feel like saying that moron and all this, but I catch myself trying to hold it back, but until I hear more. But what could change my mind about it, I don't know. But that person went and purchased weapons or stole them and ammunition or stole it and is now going to be the poster child for gun control. This is why we need gun control. That's what these people are going to say. The gun control people are going to say, this is why we need gun control. And you know what? It's a good example. I'm all for my rights to bear arms. I'm all for it. But that's a good example. That's people are going to look at that and say, if he couldn't access that weapon, he couldn't have killed 18 people. hey, chaotic, and then there's going to be people who say, well, he could have still killed people with a knife. Well, probably not 18 people. There's going to be so many arguments now, and this whole gun control thing is going to get right back to, you know, why do we have gun violence? Because there's too many guns. And then the gun pundits are going to say guns don't kill people, people kill people. And that's true too. Like I said, I am not for gun control. I'm you know, I have weapons. I have guns of all kinds, and um, I would only use them if necessary. Um, some people don't do that though, and that's you know, is there a way to you know keep a person from buying a weapon and going and committing all these crimes? Well, people are going to say, well, we need more extensive background checks. Okay. Well, this kid was 18 years old. What what do you think he has on his background? I don't know. There could be some stuff. Yeah, yeah, love and grace. It's a happy time, right? It's supposed to be, hey, summer breaks here. Let's, and, last week or school or 2 weeks, whatever, however long they go there in Texas, and then tragedy. Like some of them are just gone from the world, and their parents are going to have to live with it forever, and their friends. What about their friends? How good is their summer going to be? What about the school employees, the school district, with all the stuff headed for them this summer? What a summer it's going to be, right? We have guns in our home and have always have. My husband grew up hunting, but we keep them under lock and key. Exactly. There are responsible gun owners, and this kind of thing just opens up that door of that window for people who are totally against guns to say, this is why, this is why, you know, and I disagree with it, but there are make, um, I'm not sure, Becca. Didn't see it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know what was deleted. We'll try to find out for you. Um, there's go over here and look. Uh, deleted. Yeah, Becca, I don't see any of the comments that yours were deleted either. So I'm really not sure. Mm. May have been an accident, but I don't see any on YouTube or on the StreamYard where it's been deleted. I don't see any. Click out to share your link in Ziggy's Discord, and they were gone. No worries. I just wanted to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They still all show up for me. No, I don't think you did anything wrong. I don't see anything that you said wrong. Yeah, repost them. School experiences are so different than they were 20 years ago. It's a sad time. That's true. Um, I don't remember this ever happening when I was in school. It may have. I just don't remember it. I sure don't remember it. Um, and there has been instances over the last few years where I know what was Sandy Hook was what 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, I think. That was awful too. Um, and it's people making bad decisions. Hey, old schooler. Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I've actually got another one to send out today. Well, tomorrow. I actually got it finished today, and I'm going to try to go to the post office and send another one out tomorrow. Somebody got. Um, do you know? I don't know. I mean, at 18 years old, um, thank you, old schooler. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, I can't imagine anything when I was 18 that would make me want to, you know, shoot anybody. I mean, I couldn't imagine anything to make me want to shoot nobody now, except if somebody was trying to hurt one of my family members, you know. Um, but then I would in a heartbeat, without hesitating. But I wouldn't go on the offensive and start snipering people out, like um, that's just you would think the way our society has evolved, like this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. Um, and there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Um, I know several of the schools have metal detectors. A lot of schools have metal detectors. I know there was a lawyer in Corbin who offered to buy metal detectors a few years ago. I don't know if they ever got them put in. I think maybe they did. Um, but they offered to buy metal detectors for the school, and for some reason the school board didn't want it. Wouldn't accept it. Like, um, now, why is this now? Why are we not accepting this? I mean, make it make sense. This person's being generous, giving you things that are worth lots of money to prevent lots of harm, and we're saying no to it. Come on. Rational people will never see a reason for it because there is no reason for it. Yeah, that's right. You're right. And I know there's going to be lots of studies and experts and people weigh in on it and give their opinions. You got your Dr. Fields and your Dr. Heels and everybody else, but um, what is the reason? There is no reason. I want to convince my daughter and son-in-law to homeschool my granddaughter. Let me babysit, but I know that's denying her of being with her friends. I remember that offer of buying those. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's. I've got a couple friends who homeschooled their kids, and at first, I was like, come on now, buddy, you're not allowing them to, grow socially. So even though they're going to get their education, um, once they graduate high school, technically, they're still going to not be ready for the world, not be ready for the college experience, because they don't know how to interact with other people. But this kind of thing makes you say, well, I know at least 18 kids in Texas whose parents would have loved to have made that decision to have homeschooled their kids, right? It's just so heartbreaking. It's 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 disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Um, the man who did this, the boy who did this, the person who did this is a flat out coward. My son is homeschooled, but his two best friends are too, and they are hanging out on the weekends. Well, that's cool. I homeschool, and now my 12-year-old wants to go back to school and play football, but found out he can still play being homeschooled. Yes, yes, that is true. Most places now um, will allow you to homeschool and still play sports within your district, or I know there's a couple of homeschool teams that are like, you know, uh, actual nothing but homeschool players of basketball teams in Kentucky. So it's becoming more and more of a thing. And who knows? By the time my kids are having kids, um, there may be more homeschool than ever before. I'm sure there will be, and it's not only because of things like today, but I think with you know that thing that came over here from overseas that caused so much um, chaos, and lung issues and all this stuff. But anyway, that stuff when the schools were shut down, everything was shut down. It kind of showed the world you can homeschool. We can learn. It's not as good. Not with these mass settings like when everybody's homeschooled. Everybody at homeschool has the same teacher. It's not as good as being there in person. Now, one-on-one individual homeschool with parents teaching or a teacher teaching homeschool. I think there was a teacher that had accepted like 6 or 8 students that I heard about that was homeschooling. They were doing their homeschool course, but the teacher was actually instructing them on online or whatever. Um, but there's definitely ways that people are circumventing now to make things safer. No, we don't live in the times we grew up in. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, it's sad too. I mean, you know, I I probably said it 20 times already. I probably said it 20 times before we, you turn the live off. But it's sad. Hey, Holly Golightly. Hi, everyone. Praying for the great state of Texas, the children, and all the victims. May they rest in peace. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's, the one thing we can do from here is, offer our prayers and positive thoughts. And, you know, I know, I'm sure there'll be um, places set up for donations to be sent. If you send donations, um, just do your research. Make sure you're sending it to a legitimate place that will actually help. That the money will be spent to help. Um, and I'm sure there will be an abundance of donations sent and received, and and prayers as well. That's something we can all do for free, right? Pray, pray, and think, give good, positive, positive vibes. I've been looking at photos and posts of the shooter online. I can definitely see some issues. Oh, I haven't seen those yet. Um, and I'm sure more information is going to come out as far as background info on him. It was a man, right? An 18-year-old male. Do you know if he has a Facebook or Instagram? Prayers for everyone involved. What was his name? I want to give my thoughts to all those. Hey, Alan Gilmore. Alan Gilmore, are you the same Alan that used to participate in Warrior FC? I want to give my thoughts to all those affected by this tragedy. Life is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Trying to censor my comments. Maybe that's why they were deleted by YouTube. Possibly, possibly. And I've got some keywords on YouTube, like on my YouTube studio. That's Salvador Ramos. Okay, but I've got some keywords typed in. I don't know what all they are, but well, hey, buddy, it's good to hear from you. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Hope things are going well for you, buddy. Oh, you sent me pictures. Okay, let me check those out. Let's see. Let's see. Oh goodness, yeah. Oh gosh. Wow. And there in that photo I just saw, it had like pictures of weapons. Looks like some automatic rifles and things like that. Um, when people start posting those on social media, that should be a flag. Um, that should be a flag to um, authorities or something to. Uh, oh goodness, my daughter's goofing off. But those, anytime somebody posts pictures with weapons and keywords and bad words and insane kind of thoughts, that should be I think that should be investigated. I know, I mean, we've got old Joni. I've cried my eyes out today too. I know how you feel, and it was cowardly, Holly. That's what I said earlier. He's a coward. Um, um, but we send the police chasing after YouTube people, saying they're waving knives or they're uh, going to hurt an Uber driver or something stupid, or you know somebody needs to do a wellness check on somebody's kid, and all this wasted resources of police and government time. Why can't we? Why can't the government take some of those resources, and when there's got to be some kind of thing that shows when these guns show up online. somebody takes a picture of these weapons, they need to be looked at. They need to be looked at. And, we waste all these resources all the time on the stupidest wild goose chases you'll ever see that never amount to anything. And then with this guy post pictures of automatic weapons and powerful rifles, nothing. No red flag, no investigation. Honestly, what would they have done? What would they have done? It's been about a year ago when I had to call the police and tell them, that my life was threatened. I had video of a person threatening to take my life, kill me, death. Right? Had video of it. And was told by the police officer that, oh, well, they're just exercising their freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want. Now, if he hurts you, if he harms you, then we can do something. Oh, okay. So when they threaten to kill me, I just got to wait on them to kill me before you can actually do anything, right? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I think that was a lazy ass cop that didn't want to do anything. But I just don't, for the life of me, I can't figure out how some things are pushed so far that are obviously ridiculous and false and just making a mockery out of law enforcement. And then something like this moron posting weapons, and I didn't even read the post, but there was something posted with it. But somebody should have at least looked into that. They say, Bush had intel on 9/11, and we didn't do anything about it. Of course, that's one of the, 2 million theories that are floated. But count is up to 21. Oh, my goodness. I think there was 18 children and 3 adults last I looked. Right, let's see. I didn't. Yep, 18 children and 3 adults. Yep. It's we didn't do anything because of an inside job. Well, see, that's one of the theories, but who knows what to believe? I mean, there's probably as many theories for that as there is, JFK. I don't know. It's just will we ever know the truth? I doubt it. I doubt it. We are a young but nation. Strong nation. Laws hopefully will change against online threats. Law enforcement really needs support too. Yes, law enforcement definitely needs support. Do you think, law enforcement morale is probably at an all-time low too, right? Like so many people who badmouth cops, And there are bad police officers. Of course, there are. There's bad school teachers. Um, there's bad restaurant owners. There's bad factory owners. There's bad factory workers. There are bad people in this world. Um, but for the most part, I believe that, you know, the police are in it for the right reason and want to do the right thing. They need that support. That's right. We do call Blue when we need help. First, when you're in trouble, call 911. Right? Call it. It's the easy number to remember. It's what you do. It's what everybody knows. It's um, absolutely, absolutely. You call the police. They're protect and serve. Right? You know. And this is the same thing with prosecutors and attorneys. Like, there are some who absolutely want to get to the truth, and there's some who absolutely care about their record, how much money that's going to bank them. You know, maybe they've got political aspirations. Becca, that's my question. I know it's, and that's what I said at the beginning. Like it wouldn't matter if it was at a factory or, if it was all adults or a high school, um, but or the elementary is still human lives. But the thing is, these elementary kids haven't even begun to start, you know, making real decisions in life. Um, Most of them haven't thought about career or college. Um, like somebody posted earlier, it was it's going to be spring break or summer break. They're happy. They're looking forward to being out for the summer and not a care in the world. And the animal who committed the crime was just a kid, 18 years old. 18 years old. What in the world could have happened to that young man to make him want to hurt so many people? And you don't take those type of weapons with that type of ammunition to a place like that and start shooting with the intention of gaining attention or hurting. You're there to kill people. And make no mistake, this guy went there with the intention of killing. And I don't think he had any intentions of leaving there alive himself. He probably committed suicide by cop. You know, it's, we had this discussion recently about mental health and chaos and all that. Like, just do you think this kid was mentally ill? He had to be, right? I mean, has to be something. Has to be something going on. His tagline on TikTok was "Kids be scared." Oh my God. I, hey, Bannerby was out of town most of the day and heard about this when I got home. It's terrible. Yes. And And I know people from Texas. Um, I've got several friends from Texas, and I know Texas is a proud state. Um, proud of you know how strong they are, proud of how bold they are, how fearless they are. Just proud. Um, so I know this as just you know it's got to be crushing to the core of that state right now. Like from you know the weakest to the strongest, from the poorest to the richest. You know, all men and all women. Like it's got to be crushing. I'm 4 hours away, but this is shaking up our whole state. Yeah, don't mess with Texas. That's right. It's. He also messaged the girl a few days after tagging her in his gun pics and told her to be happy he tagged her. So it sounds like he was planning this. Yeah, and for him to get in there and he killed his grandma, then and he killed 18 kids and ended up killing two adults, right? Or is that one adult count as grandma? I guess. But and then he got killed. So there's a high body count. So there had to be some planning, right? I mean, surely some idiot off the street couldn't just say, "Hey, I'm just going to go shoot up a school," and walk in with no plan at all, and have that many or that big of a body count, right? One of my favorite songs as a teenager was "God Bless Texas," and they are proud of the guns in Texas, and I think most people are proud of their guns. If you're a gun owner, you're a proud gun owner. You don't really hide it. Um, it's just like the cop thing, like you can have 10,000 good gun owners to one idiot, and that one idiot is the one who's going to make it hard on everybody else. Absolutely, they're an American right, the right to bear arms. Absolutely. Um, well, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like, I don't know if guns are out of control, Joni, or like I said, people are going to say guns don't kill people; people kill people, and that's the truth. You know, how does this 18-year-old have that many weapons? Did he obtain those legally? Is They said it's a poor community. Is he a poor kid? Those look like some expensive weapons. And owning guns is only a right if you're part of a well armed militia. They have just bastardized it and for greed money at the NRA. I'm not in the NRA, but I own um, many guns. So I've got 4 Glocks, 2 Springfield Armories, a Ruger, Winchester rifle, um, some shotguns. Won't go into details. I've got a sawed off shotgun, even but they're locked up. You can't get in my safe unless I put you in there. Um, Holly, he either got them on the black market or he may have stolen them. You know, that's the thing. Like, um, Swiss Canadian, this shit doesn't happen in any other country because they have very strict gun control laws. Honestly, I don't think. I think it. You know, let's maybe we talk about it. Let's. You know, here's my opinion. My opinion is if they ban guns tomorrow, if they ban weapons tomorrow, and you're not allowed to own them anymore, you're not allowed to buy a weapon tomorrow, then I promise you that there will be several shootings soon after they ban them. And the shootings will not stop. People will find a way. Yeah, like I said, without an assault weapon, this guy probably couldn't have killed 18 children. Hey guys, hey Arkansas, um, United for Survivors. Yeah, we're not trying to make it political either, Arkansas. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I know you weren't in here, but everybody's going to have different opinions about guns and gun control, and you know, the people who are for stricter gun laws are going to point at this and say, okay, we need stricter gun laws, and the people who don't want the stricter gun laws are going to say it wouldn't matter. Um, so it doesn't. Um, you think if there was less access to buying weapons, that there would be? You completely disagree. If there's less access, there will be less of these incidents happening. I don't know. Now, I don't necessarily know that everybody. Josh says that's what ARs are made for. I don't necessarily know that everybody needs to own ARs. you know, um, but you know, um, oh, don't get too worked up about it. Like I said, we're all friends. It don't matter. Like we can argue about it forever. It's never gonna. What we say is not gonna have a significant effect on gun laws anyway. You know, politicians are gonna do what they want to do, and it doesn't really matter what we think. We just have to live with it, whether it's stricter gun laws or looser gun laws. Um, but you know, I promise you, when it's all said and done, this 18-year-old kid didn't own those weapons, didn't buy those weapons at a gun store, didn't buy the ammunition at a gun store. I promise you. When they find out where they came from, they're either going to be stolen or illegally obtained. Like they will get guns illegal. Yeah. Well, yeah, Josh, I was saying earlier, like, this kid posted pictures of these weapons online 4 days ago with apparent threats, and 4 days, you know, and we got we got people from YouTube calling the police on people riding in taxi cabs, you know, um, meeting them at their next stop, having the police there waiting on them, checking on them. Why in the hell can't we get somebody to check on this kid with, assault rifles laying out with threats posted on social media? You know, I don't get it. Um, If we're paying that much attention to social media and what's going on, how does that not raise some red flags? I Well, I'm not looking at it in a terrible way. I'm just saying that, I really don't think, you know, like me and you have different views on gun laws right now, Arkansas. What has changed? Me and you can argue about it till the cows come home, which I'm not fully against what you're saying. I do think there need to be stricter gun laws. Now, I'm not saying there doesn't need to be better gun laws. I'm just saying that me and you can argue about it forever. And, it starts with politicians. There won't be any gun law passed unless it goes through the politicians. And somebody said something about the NRA. Was it you, Arkansas? The NRA has a lot of money, a lot of backing, a lot of money in politicians' pockets. That's probably going to be a factor too. You know, but grandma raised him. Well, chaotic beauty and crime. If the media just reported the facts, it wouldn't be any fun for everybody to talk about it and lie about it. That's this whole fake news thing came about and exposed, and really, it's been that way for a long time as far as the fake news. And it's not just one side or the other either. It's both sides. What can we do about it, Arkansas? See, that's all it's going to do is make neighbors and friends argue. And like I said, we will argue about it till the cows come home. And then 6 months from now, it'll be the same. A year from now, it'll be the same. 2 years from now, it'll be the same. Like even if one side, starts to gain some traction and starts to get something done, the other side will delay it or shoot it down, and like it's just a back and forth. And I really believe it's all about money. All this politics and all this, it all comes down to money. And as I predicted, this whole school shooting thing is going to turn into a thing over gun laws. Yeah. Oh well, of course it's out of control. Arkansas is out. One incident is out of control. I mean, if it happens once, it's too much. Um, I agree with you that should never happen. It should never happen. What happened to all high school entrances having metal detectors? I remember years ago, government saying that was going to be a mandatory. Yeah, Bannaby, I think you came in late, but we had an attorney here several years ago where I live at that was willing to buy metal detectors for the schools, and for some reason the school board wouldn't accept them. So that I think they all have metal detectors now. I think, but to me that was just, it blew my mind. Like, why can't you? This is an attorney who has plenty of money, and he's gifting these metal detectors. I think they were like $20,000 a piece, and he was going to give them to you. He was going to buy them and have them there for you, and we turn them down. I know they were just babies. It's freaking stupid. Like kids graduating at 6 different schools should be celebrating achievements. It's just stupid. I agree, Arkansas. It is. It's pointless. it should never happen. Got my guns legally with background check, and I keep them up safely in my home. It makes me feel safer and a single mom to have them in case I need to protect myself or my kids. Yeah. Most people are responsible gun owners. Um, then you have people just like people who will go out and buy a beer or buy a case of beer for a 16-year-old. And we got one crazy man running around acting like a saint on YouTube that has actually been convicted of that. But it's the same thing. People can go buy, if a kid steals money from mom or dad, or he's entitled and he's got a lot of money, go give somebody, that's of age $400 or $500 and say, hey, I want that Smith & Wesson. I want that Glock. It's easy. That's too easy. And I think there's ways that, they could tighten that down. They could tighten it up. It could make it harder. If you've been, a criminal in the past, probably don't need a gun. Unless there's been, I don't know, a certain amount of years went by with no crimes or nothing like that, and you could maybe reinstate or however it works, or would it work? But I agree that the access is pretty easy right now. There are so many 20-year-olds around that age that have guns that are way too readily accessed, way too many. This isn't just a few here or there, it's everywhere. Somebody's failing miserably. Yeah. Yeah, and listen, those children, and I'm gonna say children, shouldn't have those handguns. And I think it should be a special. I don't think it should be as easy as it is to get an AR, or a high powered rifle. I just don't think it should be that easy. I agree with you there. As far as I know, what is it? You got to be 18 to go buy a rifle. Um, and that's another thing. Andrew says we, society is raising these people. This 18-year-old kid killed his grandmother. Come in.
Can I show you the photo I just took?
Uh-huh. No.
Mom said you wouldn't approve of it.
Tell Mom I approve of it.
Who's that?
It's alive.
Oh, can I say hi?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, guys. Bye, guys.
Me music. Molly.
It's a baggy shirt and I like it.
Okay. Arkansas, so I think a lot of people are just as frustrated as you are. And, you have every right to be. And that's what, that's why I like to hear, at the stand, we can say what we want to say. And even on sensitive issues, if we have, differing opinions, then we just talk about our differing opinions, right? And I do agree with you that something needs to be tried. Something's got to be done. Here in Florida, it seems every month there is a bust of weapons or drugs coming in on boats. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like a lot of these weapons aren't sold originally in the U.S. They're not legally here in the U.S. A lot of these weapons come in through drugs and with drug cartels and things like that. And um, who's in critical care? I miss one. Death count is up to 20 now. Is that death count of children? That is so terrible. Like America needs to make NRA pay for security at all schools. Let's see that now. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. What do you guys think about an armed security guard at schools? Um, I know at my kid's school, there's a police officer that works at the school. I know at Harlan County High School, there's a sheriff's deputy that works at the school. Oh, I get it, Arkansas. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's uh, maybe there'll be enough voices to come together and they will force them to do something. That would be what it would take. It would be, it would take somebody to actually um, vote into office, somebody that's going to do what their constituents want. Schools here have them, Andrew says, and Chaotic Beauty's school has police station in it. Yep. So what we do too. Now I wonder if that little school did. Now I know the elementary school that I work at, the elementary school doesn't. Not sure about the high school down there in that county. Arkansas, I agree with that. I think every time there's an incident, they need to track that weapon back to where it originated and hold them accountable. I would 1,000% support that, because at some point, somewhere, somebody has let go of a weapon to somebody that shouldn't have one, right? Texas is the open carry, protect, blah 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 state, and the guns didn't help it there, did it? Well, you can open carry here in Kentucky too, Arkansas, but you cannot open carry a gun on the school grounds. So school teachers can't carry guns. If the principal or school teachers had been armed and trained on how to use a weapon, do you think it would have made a difference? If there had been now at our school, at our elementary school, you have to be buzzed in. You can't just come through the door. That's true. Banner B's right. These ghost guns or drug guns, they're going to have the serial number scratched off, or uh, uh, just no serial numbers at all. However they do it, people are good at what they do and not being traced. But Now, for this 18-year-old kid, I guarantee you they can find out where those weapons came from. I guarantee you those weapons are registered to somebody, and I bet it ain't him. Yeah, that's the details we're kind of looking for, right, Arkansas? Like, how did he walk into the school with a gun in the first place? And did he have one assault rifle? Is that what he had? Is one rifle? Hey, Bama Truth Seeker. Just sent me the updated info on victims so far. Okay, check it out. Okay, 18 children dead, one adult dead, and the shooter dead. 66-year-old woman, critical condition. 10-year-old girl, critical condition. 10-year-old girl, good condition. Well, Lord, prayers for those who are fighting for their life, and prayers for those families and those who've lost. The cops killed him, huh? Well, this is probably death or suicide by cop, right? Would you think? Like, he, in my opinion, he probably had no plans of walking out of that school. Yes, Bama's Truth Seeker, that is true. He did shoot his grandmother before going to the school. And you know, we're talking about the gunman and the gun laws. What is it, buddy?
Can you put it on mute real quick?
Something I need to be muted for?
Yeah.
What is it? All right. My son, he's wanting us to play online Monopoly. We have like 10 different board games of Monopoly, you know, different versions, Star Wars version, Scooby-Doo version, regular version, cheaters version, all kinds of versions, but he's wanting to play it on his PlayStation 4 and everybody pass the controller around. E squared, let me check. People are making 3D molded weapons made of plastic that can go through a metal detector. Oh, wow. I agree, Arkansas. It's so hard to fathom, right? So hard to fathom why anybody could choose an elementary school. That's what I was thinking, you know, like I see those kids daily at the elementary school and coach, and you know, they're babies. They goof off, you know, they make fart noises with their hands and under armpits, and you know, just goofballs. They don't care in the world about nothing in this world, you know. They don't even know what the world's about yet. And some hateful killer just decides he's their executioner. It's just no punishment would have been good enough for him. My son's remote to his Xbox stopped working this evening. You would think the world ended. Yeah. Yeah, that was my first thought. E squared in Arkansas was bullying. unless maybe he had been bullied at that school and then waited till he was about to graduate, or maybe just did graduate and then I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some information is going to come out, but why? Just there's no good reason. So do many YouTube creators. What's that, Andrew? Video games are the devil. Most school shooters are arrested alive. Yeah, they I don't think he wanted to be arrested alive. Otherwise he would have laid down his weapon, right? Oh, here we go. The 18-year-old gunman who opened fire at a Texas elementary school bought 2 assault rifles on his birthday and appeared to send some ominous Instagram messages just hours before the massacre. So he did purchase those weapons on his birthday. No, it don't make it better, but you're right. You could think, what can we do to prevent it? In the future, I don't know. You can't prevent people from going crazy. That's the weirdest part. Like you can't predict what somebody's going to go through in their mind, and when they're going to decide to be an absolute monster, right? And that's the same thing with guns and selling guns, and like that's what I said. Maybe we do need stricter. No, not maybe. We do need stricter gun laws. We do need, just anybody doesn't need to walk into a store and be able to buy a gun as long as they have a clean record. It shouldn't be that simple. Because, maybe you should have to take some kind of, psychiatric evaluation type test, maybe 100-question test, and it gets fed through a federal database and then, read and looked at, compared with your background, with your grades, and with, just all kinds of different things that would factor in, and then decide a hard yes or a hard no. Is this person eligible to buy a weapon? But I don't think they did determine the Vegas shooter. I don't think they ever figured out. They're making it out like he got them legally. It doesn't say he did. That's left out. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. When you read that, you think, well, if he bought them on his birthday, then he bought them at a store, but he could have bought them, at a yard sale, at a flea market. And that's another issue with gun controls. You can have gun control till you're blue in the face. Until somebody enforces private sales of guns, and flea market sales of guns, then the other gun laws don't even matter. Like, let's say, Joe Blow has 10 felonies, has been in prison for a gun crime, can never own a gun in his life legally. But on Saturday at 12 o'clock, he can go to the flea market and buy whatever he wants. Handgun, rifle, shotgun, anything. Until we regulate these private sales, now that's an issue. That's a big issue. Um, wonder where his parents are. That's a good question. That I'm sure all that's going to come out soon too. Um, and we'll talk about this more. As more info comes out, and listen, I want you guys, everybody, to feel comfortable to say whatever you want to say, as long as you don't show any disrespect to, um, to anybody. As long as you don't show any disrespect to the families, um, or to each other when we're discussing um, gun control or anything else. You can say whatever you want. It's okay to have a different opinion than me. It's okay to have a different opinion than Arkansas or Andrew says or E squared. It's okay. But let's just keep it at a cordial level. And that's not hard to do, right? It's not hard to do. We all like each other. For the most part. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Andrew says. Actually, you can go to the what is it called, the military stores on the bases. Is it PX or something? And they get discount on weapons, but those are registered to those military personnel too. So they can get in big trouble for buying weapons for another person. So well, guys, it's really a sad day, in the United States, especially in Texas. If you guys don't care, let's. I'm sure it's probably already started somewhere, but I hit the wrong button. I already messed it up. All right, let's hashtag Texas Strong, and let's do it in other chats and wherever you go. And let's keep those people in our prayers. The people who have lost loved ones, the extended family members, the school employees. You have to be 21, clean record for the most part, citizen. You have to take classes first. That's good. That's good. But yeah, let's make sure we keep them all in our prayers. And like I said, if any of you plan to donate to anything, make sure you look at it first and kind of check into it. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of, places pop up that are going to accept donations and they'll send them out to Texas for you. Just be careful. Do your homework. If you're going to send money, make sure that your money makes it to where you want to send it to. Yeah, Charles, they do. They have, there's metal detectors in every courthouse, right? Every courthouse. Most of the high schools have them, I think, but like we were talking that, I work at the elementary school and we don't have a metal detector. Actually, we do have a portable metal detector, but it's only for one door. So I forgot about that one. But yeah, these high schools have them at all their entrances, and and people are gonna find a way to get what they want done. If they want to be a complete idiot and take somebody's life, unfortunately, they're going to find a way. What we need to do is make sure that we punish them, make an example of them, and none of these 20-year slap on the wrist sentences And you know what they could do, Charles? You just gave me a little idea, a little light bulb popped up in my head. But all these guns that are confiscated, these actual weapons that are confiscated through drug busts, and there's got to be a lot, right? There's got to be tons and tons of weapons, and they auction these things off, and they sell them legally. What they should do is for those weapons, for the weapons, why don't they take those, sell those to military or police officers only, and then take all the money that is used to buy those weapons and buy metal detectors for the schools? Oh yeah, you could melt them down, and I don't know if you can make metal detectors out of melted down guns, but I'm sure it would provide some help towards it. Probably do better just selling them, right? Just sell the guns, and but make sure you only sell those. The confiscated weapons should only go to military or police officers, active police officers, and that way they're, for the most part, in the right hands, right? And we and that's the one thing, Arkansas, that I think that we could do about gun control more is better, is to as far as we have to regulate the resale of guns, the flea market sales, the private sales. It should be punishable if you buy a gun and then 10 years later you can't tell nobody where that gun is. Maybe a gun auction or a audit, just like they audit your taxes. Hey, you got these serial numbers? Let's see them. Bring them in. We'll jot them down, put you in the system that you still have them, and you're good to go. Because if you sell a gun, you can take it down to the courthouse and you can give them the serial numbers and box and all that stuff and put it from your name into someone else's. You can register that weapon in somebody else's name. And then you don't have to worry about it no more. Somebody else's responsibility then. But you guys, I'm going to go in here and play some Monopoly with the family. You guys, please keep Texas in your prayers. Hashtag Texas Strong. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Probably start a little bit early again tomorrow, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. Appreciate y'all hanging out. It's a sad day. Just keep all those, everybody out there in Texas and extended family in your prayers. God bless you all, and thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm Jimbo, coming to you live from the stand.